draw me in, and I can't slow down, no. Can you feel it too? There ain't no stopping now. Feet off the ground, head to the sky. Yeah, wind by my side. You in my vision, directly we collide. You pull me in, I don't resist. Time seems to fly, but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that I just keep my eyes shut. Maybe this time it'll be enough. So I need the dark. Without you here, I wouldn't never see the stars. I'm headed for you. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back. I'm here, I'm your statue. Your heart is a magnet, I'm coming at you. Girl, you're my target, I'm aiming at you. You're a comet, I'm trying to catch you. We can break any rule they ever taught you. Forget about anything they ever bought you. Cause me and you don't need a lot in this world to get by. Plus you know I got you, you pull me in. I don't resist, time seems to fly but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix. And I wish that if I just keep my eyes shut, maybe this time it'll be enough. So I need the dark. Without you here, I wouldn't never see the stars. I'm headed for you. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back.
Good evening, everyone. This is What Was Helper Professional Tournament, the penultimate day, rounds 12 to 13. Let's take a look at the tournament format and the tiebreaker rules. So this is a double round robins format with 8 teams in this stage, and the top 4 will qualify to the Blitz Summer Cup, and you will know the dates very soon. The tiebreaker rules. This could be used, and we could see a couple of teams tied with the same number of round wins. But first, we take a look at the head-to-head record between the tied teams. If the head-to-head round wins, what that means, for example, let's say Immortals versus RBMK. This is going to be the game we're following first. So if both Immortals and RBMK have the same number of round wins, then what happened to Immortals at in the first stage? We have Immortals winning RBMK 4-2. So in order for Immortals to go ahead of RBMK in terms of the head-to-head round wins, they will have to win against RBMK again. However, if they don't and RBMK win, then we will take a look at the head-to-head battle win. So if Immortals lose 3-4, then they will be ahead, as they will have 7 battle wins and RBMK with 6. If they have the same number of head-to-head battle wins, we then take a look at the total number of battle wins, which currently we have Immortals with 24 battle wins and RBMK with 27. So in this case, RBMK will be ahead of Immortals. If that cannot be decided, then we will have to take a look at the battle duration, and you can figure it out yourself. But Tolian will give us the official number. I hope we won't go to the battle duration. That will be the harshest elimination we might see. However, if there are like 3 teams tied, which it's possible that one team will drop out of the tiebreaker rule, then the tiebreaker rules will be reset. So we will start from the first parameter where we have one team that drops out. So let's take a look at the table now. We have APA, ARWV, Rejects, and Bluff currently in the top 4. Rejects are ahead of Bluff as they have higher number of head-to-head battle wins. The number of battle wins in total, we have Rejects having 34, which is slightly higher than Bluff. Raid and RBMK are trailing behind, but they can catch up tonight if they win 2 in a row, with Rejects and Bluff losing 2 in a row. And it could go down to the very last day, so none of the teams of Rejects and Bluff will want to slip up. Immortals, Legion are officially out, and I also calculated Immortals. They are also out, as they will not, they will not be above either Bluff or Rejects in a tiebreak situation, as Bluff have won twice against Immortals, and Rejects have won 1 time against Immortals. It's possible that Immortals can win 1 more time against Rejects, and Immortals can still not be ahead of Rejects, as Rejects won against Immortals 4-0 for in the first stage. So the only way that Immortals can be above Rejects is to have a higher number of battle wins. However, there are only 3. Well, actually, no, Immortals are not out yet. Oh, this year I was wrong. I did some wrong maths, because you can win 4 battles in the victory. So in total, you can have 12 battle wins, and it's very unlikely that Rejects will not win any single battle at all, or just only 1 or 2. So in this case, Immortals, they still have a chance, but the chance is very, very slim. It requires a lot of coincidences to happen, and but then they have to win RBMK first in order for them to get closer to the top 4. Anyways, let's take a look at the timeline. The Blitz Cup will be held on the 11th, which is around a week later. It will end on the 20th. The top 4 teams will fight for a prize pool of $50,000 US, and the EU Blitz Cup, the Summer Cup, the dates are from the 19th to the 20th. Let's take a look at the maps. Descent, Navy Frontier, Faust, and Normandy, as I said, on the Apex server. It starts off really brawly, and then it becomes a lot more cap-based. So RBMK and Immortals. RBMK have been playing matches quite passively, actually. We saw against Bluff. It's not something you encounter often. As you know, the CIS meta is very brawly, but RBMK have a lot of CIS players from this ex-CIS region. So what I was trying to say is that, have I got the mic on? Yes, I do have the mic on. What I was trying to say is that Immortals could also play quite passively too, so it will be an interesting matchup, but I don't know who is going to come out top here. Round 13 is quite a good mixture of cap-based and brawl-based maps, and also you have armor-oriented and mobility-oriented strats that could be deployed in these 4 maps. So it will be a good challenge for Immortals to test their versatility, and it's a must-win for Rejects. Let's take a look at Thomas Fetus's prediction. They are predicting Raid, APA, RBMK, and ARWV to win. And I do agree with this. But APA and ARWV are both through to the top 4, so they might not be playing with their 100%. and today could just be like training day for AP and Alpha to test out new strategies and a new play style, and maybe rotating players. And I think this is the most important thing. The top teams, if they have secured a top 4 spot, it's very important not to wear out your players, not to exhaust your players, because you want to reserve your energy for the top 4 stage. Although it's like almost 2 weeks away from now, you really do not want to burn them out. So it's good to give some fringe players chances to play and rest the more important players. You really want to reserve your energy. I think this is kind of my 2 cents. I think it's important because, you know, professional tournament is a grueling tournament. The schedule is grueling. It really exhausts you. So it's important that you do take some rest and don't wear yourself out. Don't burn yourself out. But hopefully they will give us some good games, and hopefully for us viewers will enjoy the matches of AP and Alpha, whoever are streaming them tonight. I'm not going to delve too much on the power rating. I will give you a new rating after tomorrow. And let's go to the lounge right now. Hello to Andy and Carmelo. Alright, let's take a look. So, Nino will be following Raid versus Legion, and Fujit will be following APA versus Bluff. Mnet and I will follow Immortals versus RBMK, and there will be no English streamers following Rejects versus Aqua. This fixture, however, will be followed by both Manu and iShot. Manu will be streaming in Italian, could potentially commentate in English, we don't know. I haven't followed his streams as of late. I'm sorry, Manu. And then we have iShot. He is streaming in Russian. So you may follow their streams if you want to see Reject securing a spot in the top 4. Let's see if the room invite is up already. And the room's up, and I'll go in. Mnet is also in. So we have both Immortals and RBMK playing on Desisan's first. The chances of Immortals getting to the top 4 are very, very, very slim. But for RBMK, they have a good schedule ahead of them, so they have a good chance of coming top 4. But they need to win against Immortals first, and the odds for RBMK in this match is not very low. It's quite even Steven. So I could very well see a victory from Immortals. But RBMK, if they want to get top 4, this is the chance for them to shine. Alright, so we have around 3 minutes left to go. We are waiting for the rest of the team to show up, and RBMK potentially will be ready. And Sully asked me, who will win the Apex server? I think it's hard to tell. Mabox is currently saying RN will win, but RN have not won a season before. But I'd love to see them win. Risk will be the conventional choice. But they were struggling a little bit in the professional tournament, so I don't know about that. I hope RN will not get the curse of finishing first in the round robin stage and exit the tournament, the Blitz Summer Cup on the very first day. Apex server have this notoriety of teams coming the first place, so it has been like that since 2020. 2020 Feast came first in the round robin stage. They then finished 4th in the subsequent top 4 stage. And same happens to Feast in 2021, again finishing first in the round robin stage, and then exiting on the first day in the top 4 stage. And then the same happened to Team ID in 2022, where they also finished first in the groups in the round robin stage, only to exit the tournament on the very first day again in the 4th place. And will this happen to RN? I don't know. That's the honest answer, but I could see that happening, to be fair. So yeah, I don't know. It's the honest answer. And ICT ever won a season as well, so I don't know. Kind of my gut is going with ICT, considering how well they played against Risk when I previously streamed them. Is it Risk or RN? I forgot, but they played very well, and I do think they are showing some winner quality here. But I think all 4 teams are equally matched. Alright, so Carmelo asked, let's get into the room now. Okay, so Carmelo asked, what happened to clans like Endgame, Loka, and BPS? So I think BPS, I don't think I should say something about the drama. But if you have been on the BPC, the Blitz Premier Cup Discord server, you might know, you might get a hang of the drama. But I'm not going to kind of explain that. But basically, a lot of them have gone to ARWV now, and ARWV are currently in the 2nd place, so they are also in the Blitz Summer Cup. So a lot of them have gone to ARWV now. But as for Endgame, they showed up last season, but not this season. Not sure why. Some of them have gone to rejects. That's for Loka. I think it was like last season, is it? Not last year. I think. A couple of them have gone to APA. And I think there is a reason why they've done that, which I'm not sure if I should disclose that. But a lot of them have gone to APA, so you can say APA is kind of Loka, but it's not really Loka, if you see what I mean there. But anyway, let's focus in this battle. And sorry, I'm 24. That's how old I am. So Immortals, red team from the North spawn, will go mostly to the city side, and RBMK taking SEP 2 post-drift case. So that is not new post-drift case across the board. They're going for a full-on YOLO push. And I think they're doing that, but they're taking a lot of hits for crossing down the rails. Marcinek looking to put a big shell to the backside of Menkler. And this is a great start for Immortals, not for Object 3. Object 3 is not playing this battle. There we go, our first blood has gone to Menkler, killed by Marcinek. Marcinek is quite low as well, and takes a couple of bounces. Oh, he's actually very low now. Vasset is coming in. Flame takes a lot of hits. Now Immortals have pushed in. Marcinek is out. Virulence is going to be taken out by Immortals. It is going to be the case, and it's now 6 versus 4. Immortals are now going for the keyboard smasher as the 2 strip cases have come from below. The TVPs are still on the drum reload, so Vasset and Wild Animal and Timo needs to survive, and they are looking for Pulse to take out to kill. Timbo is now out. It's now 5 versus 4. Hit points still in huge favor of Immortals. Now the TVPs have fully reloaded, and this is going to be very crucial. They need to work together. Pulse is out. The TVPs are looking for Gats 2. Track shots. And Gats is down to 1 shot. Vasset to kill Gats 2. And it will be the case. Gats 2 is out of the fight. And it's now a 4 versus 2. Keyboard Smasher looks to kill Vasset. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Immortals will get the first battle win. Very crucial battle win. Keeping their chances in the top 4 alive. Bring is out of the fight. That leaves Keyboard Smasher the last person standing. Well done to Immortals. RBMK, I think the adrenaline is kind of overriding their rationality. And what happened is that they're just pushing right at the beginning without a lot of information. Immortals have positioned themselves brilliantly to shut down that initial push at the start. And it didn't work well for RBMK at all. We have gone past the point where a big YOLO push at the beginning is able to win you the fights. The teams are all in the top 8. They have a lot of experience in tournaments. They know what to do when there is a push like that coming at the beginning. And Immortals have done just that. And they tackled that push brilliantly. 4 tanks to more than 2k there. And RBMK really struggling here. Only 3 tanks to more than 2k. Mamkula gets taken out very early in this fight. And the scoreline is now 1-0 in favor of Immortals. Well done. So will RBMK change their lineup? They will definitely want to change. That kind of strategy didn't quite work out. You don't want to underestimate Immortals. Immortals qualified to the top 8 with a lot of hard work. They didn't like. It isn't a fluke. That's what I want to say. Immortals in the top 8. It's not a fluke. They are a really good team. Although we might say them losing to Bluff, like right at the start of the professional tournament, but what they've shown here is some good focus fire. So if you underestimate Immortals, you're doing it under your own you might be putting yourselves in peril. You don't want to do that. Let's go back and see Immortals versus RBMK, the second battle on Desert Sands. This time Cat is playing. I don't think they were playing last battle. They are playing in the 1-on-B. And we could see Vanu saying there is pain. And don't confuse Vanu with Vanu. I did that before. Vanu is the caller for rejects, and Vanu is a player in the Immortals. They are 2 different players. So hope you don't get confused by this. Kuga, otherwise known as Spare One. This is not the true Kuga, as far as I'm aware. He's going to run away. He has water tanks going for the desert side. RBMK, they will only take 6 strip case. They've dropped 1. And they actually bled slightly better than Immortals. Will they go for a YOLO push right at the start? Romeo takes a hit. And RBMK is doing a really good job in conserving hit points. And Romeo is quite low. His loader is damaged, is crippled. His DPM is going to be quite low. He hasn't been able to fix that though. Oh, big shots onto Gats too, but Romeo might be in trouble. A has been captured by RBMK. Are we seeing a push coming from RBMK? They have a lot more DPM, so Immortals, if they have not been able to trade more effectively, I don't think this is going to work for them. Big shots onto Timo, and Immortals are struggling to find a tank to focus. And RBMK have taken out Timo. And now RBMK are looking for another tank. Gats is quite low. Gats is down to 1 shot. And RBMK are looking for Romeo. He's out. And Marcinek will be the next target for RBMK. It's now a 5 versus 6. Gats is out. Marcinek is out. 4 versus 6. Kuga very healthy in the 200 LT. Vasset potentially focused for RBMK, but it's all over. Cat is out of the fight. It's now 3 versus 6. Vasset out. Virulent is out. RBMK doing a lot better this time. They have conserved enough hit points, traded a lot better than Immortals. Immortals, I think they should have stayed passive. They should have realized that they couldn't win this brawl. They don't have the DPM at all. Remember, the Strift case have tremendous DPM. And if you have already taken a lot of hits, and if you're not taking a lot of Strift case, it might not be the most desirable to make a push without a hit point pool advantage. And so this is why RBMK have a lot of hit point pool advantage at the end. They have 5 tanks doing more than 2k, with Immortals only 1 tank doing more than 2k. And RBMK brought 1 back, and we are now going to Naked Frontier. Well done to RBMK. Now let's take a look at the lineups for both teams. RBMK would take double object 777, quintuple strift case, and Immortals. Are they going for leopard ones? Interesting call. Great DPM, but the profile, the profile is quite big for medium tank, and it does not have good armor. It can get hashed or HG'd quite easily. So Immortals will have to play the leopard ones very carefully. They don't want to be shot, and they don't boast the best turret armor as well. Immortals will take triple strift case and double T57 heavies, and very peculiar lineup from Immortals, but can they make this lineup work? Very unconventional setup. But this map, Naked Frontier, you can play it quite. You can play for the caps. Maybe Immortals are looking for the cap. Maybe this is what they're going for. And RBMK, once they know the lineup for Immortals, they will realize they again have the DPM advantage. They just have to do what they did last battle, which is to gain a good hit point pool advantage and maybe go for a push after that. So the scoreline being 1-1. Will RBMK win another battle? Will Immortals make this lineup work? Immortal level 1 is a really tough tank to play, so I admire the players who can play the leopard 1 really well. And if they can get the leopard 1s to the right positions to get good crossfire, was not to say the leopard 1s can't work for Immortals. So let's take a look at T57 Heavy going for the middle side with RBMK crossing to A. They haven't been able to spot the strift case crossing to A, but Immortals are going down like that, going very aggressive, going past me. Reminds me of E7 in 2021. They've done something like this, but it didn't work out for them at all. But will this work out for Immortals? They found Violence is isolated, and Gads2 also potentially isolated, but Pulse will come down, Brain will come down. Romeo is going to be a focus for RBMK. Can Immortals get Violentus before Romeo gets taken out? T57 Heavies have now tried to push shots onto Bray. Violence down to a one-shot. Cat's very low as well. Cat has been taken out, but Cat has taken out Violence, but Cat has been taken out. And it's now a 5-6. Hip was in huge favor of RBMK. And it's a big shot from Pulse onto Timo, and Timo gets taken out. The leopard ones have now come in, but maybe a little bit too late. I don't know. I haven't been seeing them dealing with tanks of RBMK while the strift case have pushed so aggressively at the beginning. Pulse is now down to one shot, and Vandu puts a good shot onto Memkula. Pulse is out of the fight, and the T57 Heavies are on drum reload. Base shots onto Vandu, and Gads2 is quite low. But the leopard ones are also quite low. That's potentially a one-shot. Vandu's down to one shot as well. Memkula can take out Vandu. Marcinek is fully reloaded. Looks to put a couple of shells onto the keyboard smasher. It's 3 versus 5. Good shot to Gads2, but Marcinek will be on drum reload with Vasset looking to run away. Bao Wang is going to go. It's going to be airlifted back to the waiting room. It's a great shot from Vasset onto Gads2, but he's the last person standing. This lineup doesn't seem to work for Immortals. And what didn't work for E7 doesn't seem to work for Immortals as well. So that kind of strategy, going past B aggressively. I think the issue is just these tanks are quite easily pincered, and you have to go up for the ramp for quite some time, allowing RBMK to make a response. And RBMK's focus fire is brilliant, and Immortals very experimental, but maybe they need a couple of tweaks, or just, I don't want to say dump the strategy outright because that's not the right thing to say, but they would need to reconsider what type of what tanks to go for with this strategy, and the positions as well, so that the strift case won't be killed so quickly at the start of the battle. All right, let's take a look at the lineup for both teams here. Scorelines 1-2 in favor of RBMK. RBMK have found the rhythm into this matchup. And so far, so good. If they can win against Immortals, they are still in the running for top 4 with Immortals now going for triple strift case, double TVPs, and double object 777. Alright, so Immortals will take double TVPs, triple strift case, and double object 777. This lineup is a lot more typical of the current meta, so this should help them. As for RBMK, they will take a VK90. It's kind of a more mobile version of a VK72 or a German super heavy in this sense. The alpha is not as high though. So there is like a give and take for the VK90. But for the strift case, they will set 5 of them, with Brain going for the object 777. We'll follow the 4th battle here. Living Frontier. Let me check the scoreboard is correct. Let's go in. Red team will be Immortals from the north, and blue team RBMK from the south. Let's head up high and see where both teams are going here. Immortals. The TVPs are going for the southeastern corner. RBMK blue team are looking for all the caps basically. So they're spreading out. Immortals, while they're crossing A, they've been spotted as well. They're going for a similar strategy, but they might not go for a big push at the beginning. Memkula will be there to put a lot of shots. So let's say, in Memkula's perspective, Venue now looking for the ramp, but Memkula could potentially put a couple of shots. A and B are both captured, and Pulse receives a shot from Venue, and we'll have to side strip here. Machinak is also trying to hold down here, but so far Immortals are doing a good job in conserving hit points, but RBMK are steadily pincering Immortals. As you can see, Brain and Gats too. Let's look at Brain. Unable to put shots onto the TVPs, and Romeo can put a shot onto Brain. It will be a shot here, and they're trying to pincer the object 777s, but they are unable to do so. Brain bounces onto Romeo. The TVPs might be rotating back, and they might be able to put shots onto the strip case. Oh, they are going to put shots onto Keyboard Smasher and Virulentus. Immortals are trying to prevent a pincer movement from RBMK. There are lots of misses from the TVPs actually, but a lot of shots have actually penetrated. Virulentus a little bit low, Keyboard Smash a little bit low. Immortals actually didn't have the hit point pool lead, but now RBMK have found both Vanu and Machine isolated. Vanu is down to a one-shot potentially. The Emerald's also damaged, so the DP is going to be extremely low. Mankula coming around to get a kill onto Vanu, but it's a little bit of a low row. Vanu looks to push out. Immortals have now come around to take out the tanks of RBMK. Machina is the first thing out. Vanu's down to 1 hit points, and maybe a ram kill will be enough. It will be the case. Immortals still have the cap lead. They still have B, and this could become very important late in the game. They still have 2 TVPs on the battlefield. They just have to work well. You have to remember how well it worked out for Raid. Will the same happen to Immortals? Will they have a miracle here? It's not like they're in a very, very bad situation. They have the hit point pool lead, so that could be very important. Baxid will capture C. We'll try to prevent RBMK from running away with the caps. Brains down to a one-shot. Cougar is up there trying to stay from behind to see if he could put a couple of shots, but now Keyboard Smash is coming in. Brain and Gats 2 are both gone. Cougar or Bawan looking to unleash the entire clip onto the Keyboard Smasher. Oh, Cougar's down to one shot. Pulse is out, and it's now 3 versus 2. Cougar down to 1 hit points. Are they playing Uprising? I don't know, but we've seen two players surviving with only 1 hit points. Of course, those 2 players are now out of the fight. Vasset, almost fully reloaded, can take out Keyboard Smasher with the entire clip. and he does not want an ammo rack. And stands, and we have the keyboard smasher out. Immortals, 2 caps, 980 cap points. They will win this battle, bring the scoreline to 2-2. Game is on. Well done to Immortals. RBMK managed to isolate the Object 777s, but in doing the pincer movement, they lost a lot of hit points. And that is enough for Immortals to get a comeback here. They have 5 tanks doing more than 2k, and RBMK having 6 tanks doing more than 2k. I love how Immortals play with the caps, and they, although RBMK got all 3 caps at one point, what's the most important here? The TVPs. Immortals, the mobility of the TVPs enable Immortals to get the caps back. For example, the C cap, which is pretty much far from where most of the action are happening. So well done to Immortals for keeping the TVPs alive, especially the TVPs have 4 shells in the clip, which proves to be important in taking out the tanks with low hit points. So now we're going for Faust, and we will see some changes in tanks, and not sure in personnel as well. Let's look at RBMK going for triple strift case, double object 777. Immortals, on the other hand, we are seeing triple strift case, a 200 LT double object 777, and an IS7. Let's take a look at the results, if there are any. Faust, a different map, different story, but let's say all the games are still going on. None of them have finished just yet. RBMK. So we are looking for those 4-0 victories here in round 12. Faust. All right, let's say Faust.
Let's get this show on the road.
Alright, Immortals will send most of the tanks over to C with RBMK. From the south spawn, we'll send a lot of tanks to D. So RBMK are playing this a lot, not quite aggressively. And Immortals will try and get C at the beginning. Immortals are ready to receive a push from RBMK, but this is not going to happen for now. Machinek is spotted. Let's follow Machinek here. It will be Immortals that get the cap lead. And RBMK got D slightly later. But at the same time, we might have Cougar or Bao going for A. Post will drop into B with Cougar dropping to A at the... No. He is going to ignore that. Let's see what Cougar's going to do. He spotted Pause. Can he reset Pause? He can't. As Pause has captured Bay, which will give RBMK the cap lead. Cougar still waiting for Pause to get out of Bay. And at the moment, he has not been able to see that. Oh, is it a bit too late for Cougar to get A? Gats 2 is dropping the speed boost. Let's follow Gats 2. Can Cougar get A before Gats 2 arrives? Oh, I don't think so. Gats 2 looking to push. Oh, it's a miss! Cougar gets A! And that means it's only 1 kill away from flipping for Immortals. Hit points in favor of RBMK at the moment, but you never know. Immortals are looking to make a push. They're looking to push the line forward, looking to pressure tanks over to D, but Cat takes a lot of hits here. Romeo takes a hit from Brain, and Vatsit is driving towards D, trying to get this Cat back. Vanu, on the other hand, is driving towards the middle alongside Cougar, but it will be a tough 2v2 because RBMK, they have 2 heavy tanks compared to Immortals with 1 heavy, 1 light. Vanu, I think this might be a mistake. Might be a costly mistake. However, Immortals got D, which will be very important But can Venue survive this 1v2 or 2v2 in this sense? I don't know. Venue's down to 474. Looking to put a big shot onto the keyboard smasher Bassett, trying to support Venue, but the attention has been diverted towards Flame as RBMK are trying to take out Timbo. The inputs are in huge favor of RBMK. Timbo is out of the fight, brings down to a one-shot, and Cat is now quite healthy, looking for Violentus. But Immortals will get Brain out of the way, and Violentus is also out of the fight. It's going to be 5 versus 5. Romeo is out, and Flame is now showing the backside. Oh, Flame's down to one-shot. Bassett gets a kill onto Flame, but Marcinek is out, meaning it's now 3 versus 4. This is going to be really, really tough for Immortals, but Hippos are actually close. And Immortals have 3 caps as well, so can Immortals bring this one back? Even if RBMK get D, they still have the cap points. They just need to keep their tanks alive. Cat kills Pulse, and that's an important kill right here, as Bassett will be the focus for RBMK. Bassett, can he stay alive? Cat will need to shed some hit points. Bassett is out, and Cougar is trying to do 1v1 against the keyboard smasher. He cannot block this one. Cougar down to 1000, and keyboard smasher is a 2-shot for Cougar. Oh dear, he must win this 1v1 fight. But Memkle is coming in to support the keyboard smasher, but the keyboard smasher is out. Gatsu is out. It's now a 2 versus 1. Very close for Immortals to win. They just need to have Cougar staying alive. Oh, great track shot though. Cougar's down to a 1-shot now. He does not want to be ram killed. And they got the cap. Bring the scoreline to 3-2. What a comeback from Immortals. Well done. They got D. And that's an important cap right here. I think RBMK just weren't able to capitalize on their hit point pool lead. And they had started brilliantly. They killed the tanks more quickly than Immortals, but then the rhythm slowed down, and Immortals were able to make a comeback as they managed to focus fire onto RBMK's tanks, and they worked really, really well together in the late game. Some beautiful, beautiful teamwork from Immortals, and match wins now with Immortals. If RBMK do not win against Immortals in the next one, oh wow, their top 4 hopes are hanging by a thread here, and Immortals, they will be rejoicing. They still have a chance in the top 4, but let's see if there are results coming through. No, not yet. All 4 matches are still going on. Oh dear. This is spelling danger for RBMK. Yeah, RBMK definitely need to step up here. They can definitely win against Immortals, but Immortals some amazing teamwork displayed, and I'm impressed by the performance in the last battle. They've certainly improved from the last time I streamed Immortals, right at the beginning of the professionals tournament, and this is a promising team. Although they will have to look forward to the autumn season if they for potential top 4 qualification. I don't think they have qualified to a top 4 stage since 2022 winter. If I remember correctly, Immortals came 2nd in 2022 winter season, and since then I don't think they were able to qualify to a top 4 stage. But this kind of performance is something that that could bring them to a top 4. They just have to build onto that. It's looking really good, actually. It's looking really, really good. And RBMK as well. Very deep, very good team, very talented players. Again, if they cannot win against Immortals, they might have to divert the attention towards the next season, unfortunately. So let's take a look at Immortals. They're looking for D, and Cougar might be going for C, or maybe not. Score is currently 3-2 in favor of Immortals. A very important battle for RBMK, and they will get the cap lead. And they'll get C. D will be captured by Immortals right after, which will put Immortals just a tank away from flipping. As I always say, when you have less than 80 cap points of gap. So Mamkula is spotted going for A. Timbo takes a hit or two. Can Mamkula be reset? Cougar is spotted. Good shot onto Mamkula. Mamkula misses the shot. And Keyboard Smasher also misses the shot. Marcinek has been shot at. Oh, that's a really audacious move by Immortals. Will this work? They're very, very spread out at this moment. RBMK are also quite spread out, so it's going to be all about getting, winning those individual fights. Hit points are still in favor of RBMK, and Vasset is trying to capture C, and he gets C. This is going to bring Immortals more cap lead. Very aggressive. Oh my god, he's just going straight into the enemy's lineup. Is this a good move? I have my doubts on this. He's losing the tracks. He's getting perma-tracked. And there's a big shot onto the Keyboard Smasher. Vanu puts a shot onto Pos, I think. Is it an HE splash? I don't know. But Vanu has been taken out, meaning it's now 6 versus 7. Cougar tries to get A. Immortals are trying to win this one by caps. With A, C, and D all captured by Immortals, they just need to get their kills and hit point and try to bring the hit point pool back to their favor. But Bauer might be trapped. Let's follow Cougar here. He has to play this 1v2 really well, maybe 1v3 even. Immortals, Cougar, can he survive this? It's my major question. I don't know. Keyboard Smasher, good shot here. I think he will be out of this fight. Keyboard Smasher, good shot onto Cougar, and it's now a 6 versus. It's going to be a 5 versus 6 soon. Keyboard Smasher is now alive, and with Fire Lenses they got Cougar out. Brain is out of the fight. So great shot from Immortals in the focus fire, but Timo is also quite low. Oh, there's a bounce, which means Romeo can live for another day. Timo's out, Romeo's out, and Vasset's trying to go for Flame. Cat deciding whether to support Vasset or not. Flame's down to a one-shot potentially, and Flame is out. Marcinek is out. Vasset is out, leaving Cat, the last person standing, as RBMK will get both A and C. Well done to RBMK. I think there are a couple of mistakes through Immortals, especially trying to I forgot to update the scoreline actually for some reasons, which meant that there are lots of isolated targets for Immortals, and RBMK are able to take those isolated targets out. But still good teamwork from Immortals, but they have made themselves quite difficult. They just have to be careful. Especially, I don't think it was a particularly good move from Vanu from plowing straight through to the heart of RBMK's lineup. Well, you might be able to pincer some of the tanks, but it's just quite obvious for RBMK to go with Vanu, and Vanu got perma-tracked too. So it really didn't help his cause. Cat did more than 4k, which is good. 5 tanks more than 2k for Immortals, but also RBMK have 5 tanks in 2k. This is going to be a tiebreaker, and we're going to go to NorCam Day. Are we going to be seeing a campy game, or are we going to be seeing a very aggressive fight? So let's take a look. Now we have most of the results in. Well done to Raid, Bluff, and Akva. Bluff won 4-1 against APA. At the same time, we have Rejects losing to Akva 2-4, with Raid winning Legion 4-1. So now this is going to be the leaderboard. Rejects are now just only 1 round win away. However, have they won against Raid twice? Yes, they've won against Raid twice. So they just have to keep a 1 round win of difference away from the top 4. Then they should be through. And this is going to matter a lot, whether Immortals or RBMK. I mean, for Immortals will be a good chance for them to keep a good distance from getting top 4. And as for RBMK, it will be a huge chance blown away if they don't win against Immortals in this tiebreaker. Immortals now from the north spawn with RBMK from the south spawn. Let's find out where both these are going here. Kuga playing around with the ammo. And Vanu. Oh, okay. So it wasn't really a strat from Immortals. It was Vanu getting pinged out, I believe. That's what he said in the chat. So I apologize. Apparently, Immortals encountered some technical difficulties and internet connection problems. This tiebreaker is going to matter a lot for both of these teams. CU has been captured by RBMK right at the beginning. Kuga takes 2 shots, I believe. But at the same time, Pulse also took a hit. Vanu looking to hold down in the Super Conqueror. Takes an HE splash from Brain. Hit points are still in favor of Immortals, but they do not have a light tank or medium tank. And that 1-to-1 B could prove to be important. Look at RBMK trying to HE splash Vanu. And again, Vanu also HE splashed one of the super conks. Now Vanu wants to stay safe, doesn't want to lose any more hit points because if you put a lot to HE splash onto Vanu, then it's going to mean Vanu will not have a lot of hit points. It's still a very, very ampy game. Vanu takes a main shot. And the hit points are now quite close. Vanu takes another HE splash. He needs to stay safe now because he can't afford to drop any more hit points. And the Immortals are the clan that needs to make a rotation. And as I have said slightly earlier, I think the delay hasn't caught up yet. That apparently Vanu connection has gone haywire. So that is why Immortals need to make a push, because they will lose a tank for free if they don't. They want to kind of make things even. Anyway, again, 3 cap points per 2 seconds of increase. So at this rate of increase, none of the teams will get 1,000 cap points. And we can see all 7 minutes being used. But Marcinek will have to be really careful here. There are 2 tanks of RBMK looking for A, sitting far behind Vanu, down to 532 hit points. He's not going to be long for this world, so he must be really careful. But again, Immortals is the clan that needs to do something. Marcinek joining Cat to push on to Memkala. Memkala will not want to drop down. This is going to be a big call for Immortals. Will this work? Kuga looking to do 1v1. No, Romeo will join Memkala, but RBMK, will they go for Romeo? Somewhere focus fire, but we are seeing Memkala doing 1v2. Kuga is down to 2 shots. Romeo, good shot there. Kuga would not last for long. Memkala still reloading that shell in the clip. Kuga is out. Romeo hopes to put a shell before Memkala is able to put a shell onto Romeo. And it will be Romeo getting Memkala, but at the same time, RBMK pushed to the middle side and now looking for Timo. And it's now 3 versus 6. RBMK looking really strong at the moment. I think they're looking for a win here. Cat is going to bounce. It's going to miss Violentis, but Cat will be taken out. Meaning this will now be a 2 versus 6. Big shots onto Violentis. And I don't think Immortals are able to come back from this. Marcinek is tracked again, but he gets kill onto Violentis. Romeo down to 1,000. And Marcinek and Romeo might be able to kill the Keyboard Smasher. Keyboard Smasher is still very healthy. The Pulse will come over to take out Romeo with the Keyboard Smasher putting a good shot onto Romeo. Marcinek looking to put a shot onto Pulse. Maybe it's for a Keyboard Smasher instead. Romeo misses the shot. And it's now a 1 versus 5. 1 against too many. RBMK with 3 caps, B, C, and D. It will be RBMK winning the tiebreaker, keeping their hopes alive for qualifying to the top 4. Well done to RBMK. It's going to be a 4-3 win. I forgot to update the scoreline again. It's 4-3 win for RBMK. Well done to RBMK. They've conserved the hit points really well here. Immortals, they just lost so many hit points while trying to make use of the crater. So RBMK did a good job here, and it was a really tough call. Credits to RBMK for taking out that MLE of Cougar there, which is so important. Prevented Memkula for dying so quickly. He's able to put a couple of shots in the Crown Bargain, but RBMK, huge win. And Immortals, they're officially out of top 4 fights. There are 2 more rounds to go, but Rejects, they must win the next one. It will be against Immortals. Bluff are getting closer in securing a spot in the top 4. The next battle will be up against Raid, and if they win against Raid, surely they will be in the top 4. But for Rejects, if they don't win against Immortals, then I'm afraid we might see a tie here. Well done to RBMK. So let's actually take a look what will happen if we are seeing a tie, a 3-way tie between Rejects, Raid, and RBMK. Rejects, their remaining matches will be against Immortals and Legion. That should be fine for them. That should not be too difficult for them, in my opinion. At the same time, Bluff, they have Akbar and Raid to play. So yeah, we could say for 4-way tie even, but we are not. We will actually try to make that happen. All right. So first, let's take a look. What will happen if we are seeing well, what will happen if Raid are tied with well, we know that Raid are have the tiebreak over RBMK, as RBMK lost 2-4 against Raid. So if RBMK win 4-2 or bigger scoreline, then RBMK will be ahead of Raid in the tiebreak. So this is one possible scenario. But what about Rejects and also what about Rejects tied with Raid and RBMK? If Rejects are tied with Raid, so Rejects won 4-1 the first time and the second time 4-3. So Rejects will be ahead of Raid in the tiebreak. How about RBMK? Rejects won RBMK twice. So in this case, if we are seeing a 3-way tie, Rejects will be in the top 4. Will be in the top 4. Either way, so Rejects, they need a total implosion for them not to make the top 4, and even a tie would not be enough. So Rejects have to absolutely hope they win against Immortals in round 13. How about if we are seeing a 3-way tie between Bluff, Rejects, and let's say Raid? Okay. So let's say Bluff track record. They're going to play Raid next. So let's actually do a hypothetical scenario here. Okay. So let's consider Bluff to lose all the remaining matches, and that is the only way that we can see a 3-way tie. If Bluff win against Raid, then everything will be over. Bluff will be in the top 4. So let's consider Bluff to lose all the remaining games, which is possible, and Rejects to win 1 at least, and let's say it's against Legion. Alright, and Raid to win all the remaining games. Okay, so what will happen in this case? This will cause a 3-way tie between Bluff, Rejects, and Raid. So let's generate this scenario. In this case, Rejects will be ahead of Bluff and Raid, as Rejects will have 3 head-to-head round wins and Bluff with 2 head-to-head round wins. So in the case of Rejects, Bluff, and Raid tied, then then it will be rejects and bluff qualified. So what if we see bluff, rejects, and RBMK tied? So in this scenario, let's say RBMK will have will win all the 2 remaining matches. Actually, it's not possible to have a 4-way tie because Raid have not played against RBMK. So Raid and RBMK will not be able to get 2 round wins together. So we will not see a 4-way tie between Bluff, Rejects, Raid, and RBMK. What if Bluff, Rejects, and RBMK are tied in this scenario? So Rejects will have to win at least 1, and RBMK to win all the remaining matches. So let's see this scenario. Okay, so it will be Rejects and RBMK through in this 3-way tie scenario. Alright, so in this case, Bluff might be out of top 4 if they lose to Raid in the next round. As RBMK, they should be able to win against Legion, and then the match against Raid will become very, very important. And Bluff against ARWV will be difficult. So let's summarize what we are going to be, what will happen in this top 4 fight. As far as we are concerned, both APA and ARWV are through to the Blitz Summer Cup on the EU server. Okay, so once again, let me reiterate. If we see a 3-way tie between Rejects, Raid, and RBMK, Rejects are through. 2-way tie, Rejects are through either way. They are more superior in the head-to-head record. What if Bluff? It's possible we could see Bluff tied with Raid or RBMK. Bluff won against Raid first time round 4-0. It's gonna be hard for them to lose 0-4, and they still have a very superior battle win. Total number of battle wins. At the moment, Bluff have 37 battle wins. It's possible for Raid to overtake Bluff with 38 battle wins in the end. Bluff need to win 2 more battles, and whatever happens, Bluff will be above Raid in the tiebreak. But RBMK will definitely be ahead of Bluff in the tiebreak if Bluff and RBMK are tied. Okay, so again, summarizing everything I said, Rejects are ahead of Raid and RBMK in tiebreak, and in case of 3-way tie, Rejects are ahead of Raid and RBMK to be in the 4th place. So this is the only way that not really the only way, actually. Well, actually the only way, yes, the only way that because Bluff will at least have 7 round wins, so if they're winning against ARWV, they will have 8. So the top 3. So in any case, if there is a tie between Rejects, Raid, and RBMK, Bluff must be above Rejects, Raid, and RBMK. Okay, so if Bluff are tied against Raid, depending on the result of the next match, and against RBMK will be ahead of them. In case of 3-way tie, Bluff, Rejects, and Raid. Bluff and Rejects are through. Bluff, Rejects, and RBMK. Bluff and Rejects and RBMK are through. And Bluff, Raid, and RBMK. Let's actually take a look at this scenario. It's possible that Rejects can lose all the remaining games, but this is going to be highly unlikely. I'm afraid. But let's see what happens in this case, considering Bluff to lose. Oh, no, it won't happen because Raid and RBMK can't win 2 rounds together, as Raid and RBMK will play on the final match day. So again, no 4-way tie, no 3-way tie between Raid, RBMK, and Bluff. So only Raid rejects Raid, or Raid Bluff rejects Raid, or Bluff rejects RBMK. So are Raid out of top 4? No, not really, because if Raid win the next 2, and Rejects and RBMK can lose all the remaining games, which is possible, then Raid will be in the top 4. So this is the only scenario I think Raid can get top 4. So Raid are not out of this yet. What we can say for sure is Immortals and Legion are out, and yeah, gobbled a lot, but I hope you get the idea. Rejects and Bluff are much safer than Raid and RBMK. RBMK and Raid will need to have stars aligned to their advantage. But end of me babbling on what will happen for the top 4 stage. Let's actually enter the results. But will we see? Could we see all the results? Is the top 4 decided for tonight? It's possible actually. The next fixture we have, if Bluff win against Raid, yes, they will be through. And Rejects, if they win against Immortals, well, they will also be through. Okay, so it's possible that Bluff and Immortals will be through to the top 4 by the end of the night. It's actually kind of likely too. And let me just enter the results, and let me get Thomas Peterson for the predictions. All right, Thomas Peterson has made the following prediction, so we're going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you very soon. I'm just going to save this graphic and upload it to my server. And also the scoreboard. Alright, so Thomas Peterson, let's go. They have predicted Bluff, RBMK, APA, and Rejects to win their fixtures. And according to Thomas Peterson, they are predicting Bluff and Rejects to qualify to the top 4. But Raging Bull, they surprised us with a likely victory. But if anything goes by, if Rejects win, then they're showing out. But they will give a chance for RBMK to potentially qualify. So let's see what will happen here. Actually, I didn't show you the slide. So again, Thomas Peterson, Raid versus Bluff, predict to go in favor of Bluff. RBMK to win 4-3 against Legion. APA to win, and Rejects to win 4-0. But we all know APA did not win against Bluff, did not win against Raid. Can they win against Akbar? If they win against Akbar, APA will be in the first place. So we shall see. We shall see what they would do here. All right. That out of the way, we only have around 9 minutes to go, enough for battle. And I will also tell you who will be streaming which games in the next one. So next one, I will be following Immortals versus Rejects. Budget will be following Raid versus Bluff. He is going to have lots of exciting battles, and Eminent and Nino will follow Legion versus RBMK. APA versus Alpha will be followed by Black Might, streaming in Ukrainian, and Ice Shot following in Russian. Fantastic. So only around 8 minutes to go, and for a quick game, hopefully, without me using all 7 minutes. It happened from time to time. And we're going to take a light tank for this. I'm going to take the U100 LT. Hopefully, we're going to win. Just fingers crossed. And hopefully we'll be in a game soon. It's gonna be quite... Hopefully I don't spend like a minute in the waiting room. Nope, we're in. It's encounter. Don't know.
Let's go. We've damaged them.
That was painful.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy
Oh
vehicle
man, I took a
destroyed.
hit. Hopefully I don't get shot on the crossing, which I didn't.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy
Ah,
armor is
no,
hit.
that wasn't going to give me the HE penetration. Oh my god. Look, F-star. Didn't see you there. But where are the other TDs?
Penetration.
A shot there. There we go. We have a motion spotted. Death Star down to one shot potentially. Oh, Death Star shot. I can hear that. Look, I'm going to rush the Death Star.
Enemy armor destroyed. We've damaged them. We didn't penetrate their armor. Penetration.
Alright. Looking good so far.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh, what is the enemy T6 object 268 doing?
Enemy armor is hit.
Nice. Oh, I can hear a kill.
We've damaged them.
Okay, I'm doing good this time.
Gotcha.
Alright. That's a good win. That's a good win. The room should be up now. I'm going to bring you back to the lounge for a moment. It's Immortals versus Rejects, an important battle for Rejects. If Rejects win, they are through to the top 4. If Bluff win, they're through to the top 4. This is going to matter a lot. And RBMK and Raid will hope the stars will align. However, if Raid manage to win against Bluff, they might inevitably give RBMK a chance to come top 4. So, so we will see about that. Great game for me. Yes, so we are in Alpenstadt. Rejects are not safe yet in the top 4. They're currently in the 4th place, so if they do not play at their very best against Immortals, they're in dire trouble. They're in dire trouble. They could potentially be out of top 4. So, let's see. The Immortals are not fully in yet. Venue is on the subs bench, so we could see 6 players at least for Immortals. Perhaps someone is still playing in randoms like me, looking to get off the battle as soon as they could. Rejects, they're fully ready. Let's actually jump into the battle, the waiting room. We have one person watching. Yay! Which is my iPad. I have it on, so I'm the only one watching myself streaming this. Rejects, they will have. Well, let me end the poll as well before I forget. 55% of you are saying Immortals will win, and 45% of you are saying RBMK will win. And Immortals still only have 6. Rejects are going for double mouse, double 50Bs, and triple strip Ks. Immortals are still waiting for the last player to show up. I hope they will show up, whoever that will be. And I've answered your question, Sully, earlier. You might have to find that yourself. Oh, there we go. Immortals have their second player. Rejects, I've announced the lineup. Very interesting call. Double mouse. We'll give them a lot of hit points, but the speed will be an issue. But it's going to be quite obvious where the mouse, the mice will go. Yeah, I mean, the mouse will act as a pivot for rejects to push if they want to do that at the start. No, I don't know. It's the honest answer. Immortals will have triple MLEs, triple Strift Ks, and an object 777 coming to Alpenstadt. A must win for rejects. Immortals can definitely spot a party. That is what GV did on the Apex server earlier. They spotted the party of EVG, making sure EVG will not get top 4, just like what they did against GRS last year in the autumn season. Immortals, will they spot a party, bring rejects to a potential upset? Let's see here. Rejects will have a substantial hit point pool lead with Immortals. They will have triple MLE, so they might not be far away from the hit points of rejects, as we are seeing Immortals have a slight hit point pool lead. The mouse did not take the HP boost, they took the armor boost. And a couple of pro players have said it's better to take the HP boost rather the armor boost rather than the HP boost, and it really gives the mouse even stronger armor, making it more difficult to plan, and that will become more important when the mouse is required to angle. So let's say about rejects. Blue team going mostly to say the mouse, as I expect, will go for the middle side. There is literally nowhere else you want to go with the mouse. It's the kind of the middle ground you want to go for. Good shot onto Wild Animal at the beginning. Benabow. Good shot onto Marcinek. Oh, is he going to unleash the entire clip? It's getting quite audacious at the moment. Tracked Marcinek. Puts another shot onto Marcinek. Slovenia puts a good shot. They may be able to clip out Marcinek. Marcinek's down to a one shot. Slovenia will not be the one killing Marcinek. It will be Winch. And it's now a 6-7. Great start to rejects. The double 50Bs are able to clip well tank. Now the mouse are potentially trying to push in with a lot of armor. The 50Bs are potentially fully reloaded. Cougar is also quite low. It's now a 6-7. Immortals are finding a way to push, but they haven't been able to kill a tank yet. The 50Bs are now fully reloaded, are now going for Timo. Timo's running away. Gets tracked. Slovenia puts a Nar shell. Timo's on fire, and maybe one more shot is enough to kill Timo, bringing the numbers to 4 versus 7. Wild Animals out. Santiago is also out of the fight. Rejects looking very dominant in this battle. Slovenia is on drum reload. Cat receives a couple of cross shots from rejects as he takes out Playmaker. Now rejects hope to get Cat. You don't need to send everyone to Cat. They just need to divert their forces. Cat is out of the fight, and Vasset will be the focus for the 2 mouses. And Venue is going to be the focus for the Strift Case and Slovenia. As Slovenia looks to put a Nar shell in. Into bounds, sadly. But it should not be a hugely difficult battle for rejects to win. Venue is out, meaning the scoreline is 1-0. Well done to rejects. Great start to rejects. They are looking to qualify to the top 4. And this is the start they need. 5 tanks doing more than 2k for rejects, and Immortals 3 tanks doing more than 2k. Immortals look quite out of sort, and rejects the double 50Bs are working so well together. They've clipped out a tank right at the beginning, and then they clipped out Timbo next, which meant that Immortals are simply playing against the guns, the number of guns. We go back to Alpenstadt. This time rejects will ditch their mouses. They're not going to play. They are not going to experiment too much with the mouses. Although the mouse has really good armor, the speed is an issue, and the DPM as well. And the gun's also not good. So there are a lot of weaknesses in mouse, and this is why a lot fewer teams are taking the mouse these days. You have the MOEs with similar hit points, and the MOE also has a much better gun too, if I remember correctly. Even that, there is the VK72 with higher alpha. Armor is similar, although not as strong as the mouse. Hit points are also quite close, so you have the VK72, which could also do the job of a mouse. So the mouse really is just it's being used as a meat shield. But it didn't stop Rejects from winning their last battle though. It was impressive stuff. Rejects only taking one Clipper tank. The Clipper tanks are the double tip DB is a huge reason as to why they won the last battle. But last time I followed Rejects, the second previous skill tournaments actually, Rejects were able to make use of only one Clipper tank on the second battle of Alpenstadt. And still won quite convincingly. So will the same happen for to Rejects? Immortals will take double TVPs, quadruple strip case, and Vanu in the Object 777. Again, if you're new to, if you just joined this stream, it's easy to confuse Vanu with Vano. Vanu is playing in Immortals. Vano is the caller of Rejects. I think in the name of Bobby Fischer. But as a commentator, it would be quite fun to get confused. You know, Vanu and Vano, you don't know what I'm talking about. The pronunciation is also quite similar, but glad we're not going to have this kind of mix-up. As Rejects, we now send most of the tanks over to sea, and Immortals will send everyone away. Who will get a cap lead first? Technically, Rejects should have the lead, as they are closer to both A and C than Immortals are, and it will be Runabout that drops into C, but Immortals will get A with all three tanks, so Immortals will get a cap lead. I'm afraid Rejects only have one on C. And let's see where Rejects will rotate here. C has been captured, and they have the hit point pool lead because they have double MOEs, as Immortals do not have an MOE at all. Great shot on Slovenia by a TVP of Kuga or Bao1. Now Rejects, they are stacking up near the spawn. General has been spotted, so Immortals know there might be a push coming from Rejects spawn. Are they going to line up their shots there? But they are quite spread out. The TVPs can definitely clip one tank of Rejects out. But good job to Rejects. They put a lot of shots onto Romeo, meaning Rejects still have a healthy hit point pool lead. Great job to the double MOEs. Now the tungsten shell has reloaded. Are they going to take out Marcin? Are they going to go for Vanu instead? They go for Marcinek. Marcinek might have gone up too early. He didn't wait for Vanu to take two shots from the MOEs. Not good hit point pool sharing from Immortal's side, but Burnabout puts a lot of shots onto Wild Animal. He's going to run away. Can he survive this? It's the it's the question that I'm asking. Slovenia is down to a two-shot. Marcinek takes out Burnabout. The hit points are still in favor of Rejects, but Rejects have a gun ahead. They took out Marcinek. Vanu's down to one shot. And the TVPs are coming to take out Playmaker. Playmaker looking for Timo. And Bobby Fischer needs to take out Slovenia. It's now a 6 versus 5. Bobby Fischer cannot take out Vanu. Will go for Wild Animal instead. General can take out Vanu, and he's playing putting a lot of trust to General. He takes out Vanu, and it's now a 5 versus 4. Hit points still in favor of Rejects. Wild Animal's out. Romeo is down to a 2-shot. Timbo down to a 1-shot. Winch, good shot onto Romeo. Scorpion will try get B, but Cougar is almost fully reloaded. Double TVPs are still alive. We see a miracle for Immortals. They will really need one, but it's not a good start for Cougar as he takes 2 from Winch and Scorpion Drago. Vasta coming from the other end. Basically, the TVPs have to work really well together, but they're so far apart. So I do fear for Cougar here. Can he survive this? Winch is spotted. Puts a good shell onto Cougar and takes 2 in return, bringing Winch down to a 2-shot. General kills Cougar as Scorpion Drago also tries his luck. Bobby Fischer's out, and it's now 2 versus 3. Cap points still in favor of Rejects. Hit points also in favor of Rejects. As long as C is not captured by Immortals, they should have this one in the bag. But you never know. You never know. The full clip of Vasset can be the game changer here. General and Scorpion will go for B, but General will go past. He has a lot more hit points, so he can share away some of the hit points. Scorpion will try to make sure that Rejects will have a solid hit point, cap point lead, as he will be in B, and Winch will not get A for now because they don't know where most of the tanks of Immortals are. Winch is a one-shot, two-shot as well. He does not want to die here. General is spotted. Vass is spotted. General pushes forward. Timo is a one-shot, so General can kill Timo. Vasset. Timo's out. Killed by Winch, and Vasset tries to get B. Rejects 985 cap points, 1,000 cap points, and this battle goes to Rejects. Vasset wasn't able to kill a tank of Rejects, meaning Rejects will now lead to getting closer to the top, to securing a top 4 spot, as Rejects will have 3 tanks doing more than 2k, and Immortals will have 5 tanks doing more than 2k. Looking very good for Rejects. And we're now going to Oasis Palms. Rejects only need to do 2 more. And Raid versus Bluff, that is still ongoing. If anyone loves to report the results, live results of Raid versus Bluff, do go ahead. Fujit is streaming this battle, this match at the moment. Alright, let's say Immortals, they will take quadruple strift case, T100LT, an Optic 777, and Vasset in an MLE. On the other hand, Rejects, we will see triple strift case. Oh no, quadruple strift case, an I7, an Object 777, and a T100LT going to Oasis Palms. Quite an open map, so there are so the light tanks are being taken. But it's not surprising to see no teams taking a light tank, but I am heavily against that. It's so open, you really want that light tank to get information and spots, and let's see how both teams are going to work with the T100 LT. Immortals, I imagine they will have to hit point pool lead, as they are the only team to take an MLE. Let's see. Oasis Palms. Alright, let's head up high and see Immortals red team going for the A cap, and Rejects sending a lot of tanks over to C. Kuga in 200 LT may spot up a couple of Rejects tanks. Playmaker spotted, Santiago Bernabeu is also spotted. Bobby Fischer going up high like this. Ooh, I love this. I love this spot. Is he going to shoot something? Camo rating will be decreased dramatically if he shoots, but it might be far away enough to not get spotted in its position. And he will drop down for now. Rejects aren't able to spot anything. They will not have the cap lead, as Immortals get A earlier than Rejects. Playmaker and Bobby Fischer near C. And there we go. Oh, Immortals doing a better job in the in conserving hit points, but at the same time, Vasset took a hit. Wild Animal put a good shot on the General. So far, so good for Immortals. They've started this one well. Is this going to be enough? Will Rejects be able to shed enough hit points away of Immortals? Again, General takes a hit, and hit points are in favor of Immortals, and Capos as well. So as long as Immortals are able to conserve the hit points, I think Rejects will have a really hard time in pushing. But Vested takes a spot. Burnabout tries to flank from behind. The T100 LT is in C. Immortals are steadily losing hit points, and Burnabout finds Cougar in the T100 LT. Good shot there. Cougar returns fire. Oh, Burnabout needs to play this one very carefully. Receives a bounce from Marcinek. Cougar takes another hit, and Rejects might be able to put a big one onto Cougar. Cougar returns fire, but now the ball is dropped. Romeo tries to take out Santiago Burnabout, but Winch comes in to save the day. Romeo's down to one shot, and Winch will take out Romeo, meaning it's now a 6 versus 7. Rejects now have the hit point poorly. Great job to Rejects. Now they've isolated Marcinek. It will be Winch that takes out Marcinek, and they will look for Cougar next. Rejects have now pushed through the middle. General's down to one shot, and Playmaker is trying to work with Scorpion to take out Bassett. General out, Cougar out. It's now a 4 versus 6. Slorbina is out of the fight. Bassett is also out. Winch is taken out, and it's now a 3 versus 4. Santiago and Scorpion are both really, really healthy, so it all boils down to this. Rejects are looking for Wild Animal potentially. Timo is now the focus for Scorpion. Burnabout is looking for brand new 1v1. Burnabout cannot fluff this 1v1 fight. 3 versus 4 now, and if Rejects win this one, Rejects will be leading 3-0, and that will put them to a really good position coming to the next battle. Potentially the last battle of tonight. 3-0 in favor of Rejects. Amazing stuff by Rejects. Immortals had a good start, but their backyard is an issue. They really lost a lot of hit points there, and Rejects did a good job in pushing through the middle, and Immortals, their incapability to deal with, and also they were pushing forward one by one there at the back. That allowed Rejects to focus fire neatly, and that brawl meant Rejects will be leading by 2 guns. And heading to the 4th battle of this fixture, with Rejects leading by such a huge advantage, Immortals need to do something magical now. Can they bring it home? Immortals will have to win 4 in a row, but it's not something that hasn't happened before. Rejects, they just need to win the next one, and they should be through. They will now take quadruple strip case, double object 777, and a type 71. Not a tank that is being taken often nowadays. It has been nerfed. I think the mobility especially has been nerfed. Immortals will take triple strip case, an I7 object 777, an MLE, and a T100 LT. This is the last call for Immortals. They are if they want to spoil a party, they need to start doing that now. Let's say Immortals versus Rejects on Oasis Pops. Let's go. Oasis Pumps. Currently leading is Rejects, and this is going to be the most important battle of Rejects' life. The battle that could send Rejects to the top 4. All boils down to this very last battle here. Rejects, blue team from the North Spawn, will be going mostly to A and B. Immortals are spotted, and Burnabout takes 1. Slorbina is spotted. Vassett tries to do a shot. Oh, it's a trade. Cougar tries to get C while Immortals are holding here. Rejects this time. Both of them have an okay start. I don't think any clan here have a great start, but Cat has been focused terribly, and Rejects will get Cat off the way. Well done to Rejects. Great focus fire. And Slorbina will go for Timo next, and Bernabeu as well. Bernabeu will go for Facet in the end. Now Immortals want Bobby Fischer out of the way, and Rejects are going for Wild Animal. Or maybe Machina, I don't know. Bobby Fischer is out, and it's now 5 versus 6. Romeo has been rammed to death. Bernabeu looking to kill Timo, and he does. Machina out. 3 versus 6. Looking very, very solid for Rejects. And we can safely say Rejects are through to the top 4, being the 3rd team doing so. We will find out about Raid versus Bluff. Huge congratulations to Rejects and commiserations to Immortals. Well done to Immortals for coming this far. 3 round wins is something they should be proud of, even if on paper it's not. Even on paper it's not the best thing to see, but they've trained really hard. They deserve a break, and Rejects, hopefully, they will become a little bit more consistent in the top 4. 4-0 is a good result, and if they want to climb logo, they must finish in the 3rd place, at least in the 3rd place. For me, Immortals, they will lose this matchup 0-4. Rejects are through. 6 times doing more than 2k for Rejects, and Immortals 3 times doing more than 2k. Great crossfire over to Cat at the start, meaning Immortals are basically playing with a numerical disadvantage, and at this point Rejects kept on pushing and pushing as they continue to find tanks of Immortals to isolate, and Immortals couldn't quite get a tank to focus though. They killed Bobby Fischer very quickly, but then Rejects have Immortals in every single corner possible. And yeah, 4-0 for Rejects. And do we have results for other matches? That will put Rejects to the 3rd place, and Immortals will be in the 7th place with 3 round wins. Let's take a look and see if we have more results coming through, but I will end the stream anyway, because I want to bring you to Raid versus Bluff, and that is currently streamed by Fujit. This is going to be the decider. If Bluff win, then Bluff will be through to the top 4, being the 4th team in doing so. Whatever happens, Raid and also RBMK can win, but as I have done a hypothetical scenario, it's not possible for Raid and RBMK to win 2 rounds together. And in the case of Rejects, Bluff, and Raid tied, it will be Rejects and Bluff going through. If it's Rejects, Bluff, and RBMK, then it will be Rejects and RBMK through. If we are seeing a 2-way tie, Rejects and Raid, or Rejects and RBMK, it will be Rejects through in 2 of these situations. So whatever happens, Rejects are officially through to the Blitz Summer Cup on the EU server, being the 3rd team to do so. And that's it for me. Thank you all for watching. I will see you tomorrow, as I don't know what wargaming will put me to follow. Hopefully it will be a really fun, really important game. But anyway, thanks all for coming in, and see you tomorrow on the Apex server for a show match between ICT and ID. That will decide potentially the draw of the upper bracket first round in the Blitz Summer Cup on the Apex server. And I will see you soon. Bye for now.